In this video, I want to talk about how to actually beat the market in the long run without gambling. How can you beat the market, outperform the market, how achieve 15% per year, 20% per year, 25% per year, and actually deserve it, not by luck. Not because you are lucky, but because you have a process, you know what you're doing, and you can invest the Warren Buffett way. In this video, I will give you 5 steps to follow so that you can achieve your desired goal of making 20% per year. In case this is your first video from this channel, my name is Christophe Nour. I've been investing in the stock market for almost a decade now, and I have achieved a performance of 25% per year. So I've done it. And in this video, I will show you 5 steps to do it yourself. And the first step to have the performance you think you deserve is to build a valuation process you trust. Okay, so maybe you have watched many videos on valuation, and I will tell you anything can work in guessing the intrinsic value of a business. You will have some people that will tell you to only focus on PE ratios. You will have other people that will tell you to only focus on price to free cash flow. You will have other people that will focus on EV to EBITDA, price to sales, future expectations. At the same time, you will have other people that will do a discounted cash flow model, a DCF model. And depending on the DCF model, sometimes you can, the goal of the DCF is to forecast what the future of the company will look like. Sometimes people forecast the net income or the operating income or the free cash flow or the operating cash flow. Sometimes they forecast the capex, sometimes they forecast the dividend, the buybacks, the working capital. Anything can work. But the goal of investing is not to do everything at the same time. Because depending on your investing style, maybe you will invest in companies that are not growing that much. Maybe you will invest in companies, depending on your style, that are very cheap and this is a value play. So the DCF makes no sense to only invest in cheap, hidden value companies. And similarly, if you have the opposite style, if you only invest in growth companies that are growing massively, a DCF will not help you. Because what about the multiple you give your DCF? How can you have a price to free cash flow if you don't produce free cash flow? Just stupidity here. So the first step of how to actually beat the market and generate 20% per year is to know yourself. That's the step 1 actually. Know yourself, know your investing style, whether you like early growth stage companies that will grow meaningfully, but they will have to reinvest all the profits to grow more in the future. Or will you invest in major companies that are not growing a lot, but they are profitable, they are efficient, they have a moat already, and they will reward shareholders with dividends or buybacks? Depending on your style, growth or major, you will find different valuation metrics. And depending on your style you need a process. If you don't know yourself, you can't value companies the proper way, okay? It's kind of, I would say, not tricky, but you need a process to find the intrinsic value of a business. And if you make the mistake of using this model for this kind of companies or this model for the other kind of companies, it's a big mistake, I would say. It's a big mistake and you will not find the intrinsic value of the companies. And if you don't find the intrinsic value of the companies, you are not investing, you are just speculating. And you clicked on this video to be a better investor, right? To beat the market, to generate long-term wealth in the future, to use your dry powder to grow your capital, okay? So having a clear valuation process that fits your investment style, it's step 1, okay? Know what you want. And actually, I've seen this for some of my clients inside my coaching program, people that had a little bit of everything on their portfolio because they didn't know the kind of investors they were. You can avoid this mistake with the ChatGPT, asking questions about your investing style, what you like to prefer, what is your edge, what is your edge and your age. So if you are young, if you are old, if you have time, if you don't have time, if you have children or not, your investing style will change actually.
By the way, if you're looking for a complete framework to analyze stocks and build a strong portfolio, I have a coaching program. More on that at the end of the video.
The second step, now that we have talked about valuation, the second step is to focus on quality long-term compounders, not trends. Okay? When markets go up, stocks that don't deserve to go up, go up. You have a lot of speculative bubbles that form, and that's normal. And when markets go down, you have all these bubbles that pop. You have all of these decaying companies that fall to the ground. You have all the speculative assets that crash. And that's fine. That's part of capitalism. You will have ups and downs in this market. That's normal. But to invest in the long term, investing in trends will destroy you. If to invest in the long term and to beat the market, the goal is not to sound brilliant, to sound like a genius, like a very smart person. No, the goal is to make money, right? You clicked on this video because you want to generate alpha in your portfolio, right? You didn't click on this video to sound smarter. No, you want a better performance. This is the only reason you clicked on this video, right? So why would you want to sound smart to invest in the next generation of nuclear power plants without much revenue in the future just because the CEO promised to do something in 10 years from now? That's kind of a stupid way to invest, and you absolutely want to avoid this kind of speculative investing. I mean, speculative investing means nothing. It's pure speculation at this point. So avoid hype, avoid trends, avoid buzzwords, avoid what is sexy in this market, what is trendy in the short term. People are cheering because the stock goes up in 1 week. You definitely want to part yourself to avoid these kind of people that are cheering you up if the stock price goes up in 1 week. Because these are the same kind of people that will insult you if the stock price goes down in 1 week. And that doesn't mean anything for us long-term investors. The goal is not to make as much money in 1 week, okay? The goal is to make a living, make a fortune out of stocks in 10 years from now. So we want to avoid the speculative people actually. And how do you avoid speculative people? You just focus on companies that are not sexy. Companies that have no speculative mania around them. Companies that are not doing any headlines. Quality long-term compounders that are just owner-operated, that are just focusing on operations, operational work, doing the work in the shadow and outperforming the market. You have plenty of examples, plenty of companies, plenty of stocks I have on my watch list that fit this criteria. Quality compounders that are cheap right now, that you can buy right now. Nobody talks about them. You have very few videos on YouTube about them. Very few posts on Twitter, on X about them. That they will outperform everybody. This is lovely. And if you don't know how to recognize this, actually I've made some videos on my channel about this one. And I think that can be pretty helpful. I have created this channel to help you become a better investor. We talk about stock picks. You have quality long-term compounders that are here at plain sight. Third step is to learn to hold through volatility. And you do this by focusing on key performance indicators. A few months ago, we had a market correction, right? Stocks went down very shortly, very fast, and then rebounded. It was a V-shaped recovery. Fair enough. I've had a call with somebody very recently that sold during this panic moment, this tariff tantrum. It was a horrible time to live through. Fair enough. Actually, market corrections are gifts to the prepared mind. Volatility is great if you know what you're doing, and volatility is horrible if you don't know what you're doing. And I see too many people panicking when stocks go down. Actually, if you want to invest in the long term, you should embrace this volatility because of two things. One, if you have dry powder, it will give you an opportunity to buy at a cheaper price. Why not? I mean, if you want to invest in, I don't know, Google, Amazon for the next 10 years, if for 1 year the stock goes down and you still believe in the thesis and nothing has changed, then it's a great opportunity to buy at a discount. Secondly, some companies love buybacks. They invest in themselves and they repurchase many of their shares. So when stocks go down, they are eating themselves up through buybacks. Like AutoZone, for example, eBay, for example. Now you have PayPal. I'm giving you some stock picks right now. You have some companies that are famous for doing buybacks. NVR, a home builder. So companies that take advantage of this volatility. When their stock goes down, they do more buybacks. And buybacks improve the earnings per share. With the same amount of net income, you decrease the number of shares. And that's a clear formula. The more buybacks you do, given you have a stable net income, the more buybacks you do, the better the improvement of your earnings per share. And in the very long term, we want the earnings per share to go up. Why? Because in the very long term, stock prices follow earnings per share. Companies that are doing buybacks are improving the earnings per share meaningfully. So we want to invest in companies that are doing heavy buybacks. We want to invest in companies that take advantage of the volatility to increase the buyback program. And I have plenty of examples on my watch list. Companies that are taking advantage of the volatility. When stocks go down, they invest in themselves, in their own stocks. Okay, so this is how you can hold through volatility. You have other tips, but for this video, you have a lot of value, enough information to know what kind of stocks you have to pick, right? Companies that are long-term holds and doing buybacks. And I would say another tip to hold through volatility is to know what to focus on, is to focus on key things, key elements that matter for the company. I'm telling you, we live in the digital age. The main problem people have is too much information, too many YouTube channels, too many Twitter posts, too many things to read, too many Substacks. You don't know what is important. You don't know what is not important. Too many voices at the same time, okay? If you only know what is important for a company, you will hold through volatility way better. For example, we were talking about Amazon. What are the 3 things that make Amazon go up? If you know what are the elements that make the stock go up, you have one. What are the 3 things that make the stock go up? Are these 3 things trending in the right direction? If the stock price goes down, if you have a volatile environment like we've had a few months ago, you check the KPIs. If all the KPIs are trending in the right direction, this is fine. And this is exactly, I mean, I'm talking about Amazon, but now I remember the letters we had in the dot-com bubble for Amazon. The stock price went down 90%, 95%. And at the same time, the KPIs were fine. More customers, more orders, more retention rates. People were very happy browsing and purchasing from Amazon. And if you look at the public record from Jeff Bezos, you can look at the public letters. This is completely free on the internet. This is great. Live in a digital world, read the letters from the great investors. This is how you learn a lot, by the way. Jeff Bezos was always focused on key information. What is moving the business? So during the dot-com bubble, Amazon stock price dropped meaningfully, but the business was fine. What a great opportunity to buy right now. And Actually, you have plenty of examples of companies like this. Only 3 or 4 things matter for the stock to go up. If you only focus on these 3 or 4 things, you have understood everything. You don't need to be a genius. You only focus on 3 things, 4 things, and that's it. You're set for life. 4th step is to track your performance like a fund manager. I see too many people that don't know their performance. On a weekly basis, I receive calls, people that want to join the coaching program, and I ask them, what has been your performance since you have started investing? You would be astonished to see the number of people that don't track their performance. They literally don't know if they are beating the market or not. They literally don't know if they are generating alpha in this market or not. So they are spending hours and hours on research to pick stocks, and they don't know their performance. I mean, why? This is absolutely crazy to me to do this. Why don't you know your performance? You have to track your performance like a fund manager. You know that in 2024, you have generated this performance. In 2023, you have generated this performance, so that you can compare with global indices. I'm French. I can compare with my French index. I invest in US companies. I can compare myself to the S&P 500. If you click the link on my description, you will find my website. You have an explainer video. I show you the proof of all my results of my 25% per year. And I compare myself with the S&P 500 because I mostly invest in US equities. So a good benchmark is the US index. And I'm beating the US index. And I see too many people, retail investors, that don't know their performance. It's very funny to me. Every time I have a good laugh. I have a good laugh because, it's a horrible way to manage your stock portfolio. You don't know if you're doing a good job or not. If you don't track your performance, you don't know if you're doing a good job or not. So you are spending hours of your precious time that you could have spent with your kids, and you don't know if this is worth it or not. So please track your performance. This is step 4 and very important. And the step 5 is very important. And I already talked about this before on this video, is to follow one playbook. Now that you know your investing style, you only focus on this one. I see too many portfolios that are a little bit value, a little bit growth, a little bit dividends, a little bit this, a little bit crypto, a little bit speculation. I mean, what is your edge? What kind of investor are you? Follow one playbook, not 10 conflicting voices. Too many information, too many voices in this digital age. This is a great thing to live through, but also a curse of people that don't know how to focus their attention on what really matters. So yeah, this is the step 5, to only know one style of investing and do it. This is where your edge is, because most people don't have the time to do everything. It's better to do one thing right and outperform the market. Having one competence, one skill, and do it again and again and again, and you sharpen your skill to only focus on this thin line of businesses, and you only spend your time on the top 1% of the businesses out there. So you only invest in the 1% best stocks in the market. This is how you can generate a top 1% performance in the market. And this is how you can beat the market in the long run.
If you like this content, I have an investing coaching program. In this program, you will learn a complete investing process. You will learn how to find good stock ideas, how to properly value stocks, when to buy, when to sell, so that you can build a strong portfolio with great companies. Additionally, in this coaching program, you will have access to my personalized guidance for long-term results. We will do weekly calls where we analyze stocks together, and you will have access to my private number available 24/7 for full support. If you have any questions, I'm here to help. Click the first link in the description below to get more information. You will get a short video that explains how everything works completely for free. No need for your mail address. Just click the first link in the description and I'll see you on the other side.